Good morning, everybody. It's a privilege to share with you again today as we continue in our journey of being surprised by suffering. We're looking at the life of Job, and we see Job, being a righteous man, suddenly goes through this time in his life where he loses everything, and it does not make sense to him. Even Job's friends come to him and says, Job, you must have some kind of hidden sin. You must have done something terrible in your life for this thing to happen to you. And Job says, I am righteous. I don't understand what is happening with me. He was surprised by suffering. And lately I've been studying the life of Joseph. And I think Joseph have gone through the similar kind of experience where Joseph have these dreams of his brothers and his family bowing in front of him. I mean, he is loved. He's the beloved son of the beloved wife, and his father has given him this nicely ornamented robe. Life was good until his brothers, who hated him, sells him as a slave to the Midianites. They tell his father he's dead, and Joseph finds himself being hated by his family, thought dead by his father, and plucked out of the promised nation of God. Forgotten, far removed, or seemingly far removed from the promises that God gave him. And yet we see Joseph, he tries. I mean, in Potiphar's house, he works hard. He does a good job. And eventually Potiphar trusts him with everything in the house except the food he ate. And Joseph works, and he works hard, and then Potiphar's wife notices. And she wants to sleep with him. And again she asks him, and he says no. And eventually she grabs him by his jacket, and he runs away from her. And he gets falsely accused and thrown into prison. I mean, he does the right thing and ends up in prison. Again, in prison, he works hard. He does a diligent job. The keeper of the prison starts trusting him. Eventually, he's running the prison. He's looking after everybody in the prison. And two guys from Pharaoh's courts come, and they have dreams, and he interprets their dreams for them. And the one guy gets executed, but the other one gets restored. And Joseph said to him, please remember me and plead for my case when you get to Pharaoh. And the guy forgets about him. I mean, Joseph is like, everything's working against me. Even if I'm doing the best I can, nothing seems to be working out. Now, as I was studying the life of Joseph, I learned some interesting things I did not know. See, when Potiphar's wife was trying to tempt Joseph, Joseph said to her, it will not be right in the sight of God to do this thing. So there I learned that Joseph, even though he was so far removed from the blessed nation, held on to his God. He held on to living a life of integrity before his God. And so, even when he was in prison, and these two guys having dreams, I would have thought that Joseph, feeling so far removed from his own dreams, would have said, man, this dream stuff doesn't work. But yet we see that Joseph says to these guys, God gives dreams and God interprets dreams. Joseph did not lose faith in the dreams. Because 2 years later, the Pharaoh had some dreams. And then the cupbearer remembered and says, I know a guy. And when Joseph stands in front of Pharaoh, he says, God is the interpreter of dreams. And interprets the dreams of Pharaoh. And the next moment, Joseph is second in command. What do we learn from this? When we go through suffering, God is still with us. Job was restored after the time of testing, double to what he had before. We might go through times in our lives when we are surprised by suffering. When we don't understand what's going on, we're doing everything we know to do, and life just doesn't seem to work out. I want to encourage you during that. Hold on to your God. Keep living a righteous life. Keep holding on to the promises of God, because Psalms 139 says, every day in your life was written in God's book before one of them came to be. That means that nothing is happening in your life that God did not see coming. He doesn't always cause it, but He knew it was coming. He took it into His account of His plan for your life. Good plan. Hold on to your God. Keep living a righteous life. Hold on to the promises, and you will see God coming through for you, leading you. That even when you are surprised by suffering, you'll be surprised by your God that's with you in your suffering. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. Let me pray for you. Father, I pray for everyone watching this video. Will you bless them if they are surprised by suffering? May they just become aware that God is still with them, that they will hold on to the promises. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.